Okay, this is now the tarot lesson number 8. And because 8 is the number of the planet Saturn, who represents structure and boundaries and time, I'm calling this number 8 Workbook. And this is partly because someone called Philip asked about having a structured approach to learning the tarot. And so I'm going to make a suggestion. And that is, with my handy little teaching aid, I'm going to suggest that one idea per day. So what you do is you get a deck. So you get a 3-ring binder or something, and you get sheets of paper, and then you turn a card. Oh, the Knight of Swords fell out. Okay, so the Knight of Swords, and what you do is you write down one word or one idea or one thought that comes to mind when you look at this card. So maybe you look at it and you think, it's windy, right? Because it looks like it's windy in the background. So you write down windy. You've got a sheet of paper at the top. It says the Knight of Swords, and below it you write windy. And then you leave it. And that's it for the day, for that particular card. You can do another one. Okay, so that's the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords. So what have we got here? Hostility? I don't know. I'm trying to look at her expression, and is she hostile? I mean, she's welcoming, and she's sort of giving you permission to approach, but she's not that friendly. So maybe we write down for the Queen of Swords, unfriendly ? And that's all we do for that particular card on that day. Because I'm going to suggest that we do everything one day at a time. Not just looking at cards, but we really ought to live our life that way as well. Or one step at a time. So, one more. Oh, I've got the King of Swords. What's going on here? So there's the King. So you look at what impression do you get from the King, and you write that down. He seems more approachable somehow than the Queen. So maybe you've got another sheet of paper, King of Swords, and you write down approachable. Maybe you write approachable but stern, because he's got a sword in his hand. And that's all you do for the day. So my point is, I think, what have I got here? One idea per day. And if you do that, you're establishing a foundation for because we're all different. We're all at different stages. We all have different understandings. We've got different personalities, different strengths and weaknesses. There isn't one way to learn. Well, there isn't one method that fits everybody. But I think if you all take one idea per day for a card and then stop, you're establishing. And I thought about saying building a foundation, but I wrote establishing because inside the word establish, you've got that. Somehow it's stable. It's solid, it's stable, it's firm. And I think if you've got a stable foundation, you can get excited and get carried away, and it's not going to matter. Think about this. If you're unstable or you're in an unstable position and you start building, it's going to topple over. It's not going to work. You're not going to make progress. You're going to get into trouble. So by one idea per day per card, and then you leave it and you go back the following day or a couple of days later and see what more you can do, what next step you're going to take from, let's say, the King of Swords being approachable. Then what? What's the next step? Or else you write down something else that it's not windy. It looks like it's not windy in the background. So that you can either take the word that you wrote earlier and do something with it, or you can add another idea to the same card And what you're doing is you're letting your own inner knowledge or inner wisdom come to the surface gradually, and you're not forcing it. And if you give yourself time to let the ideas percolate and develop, then you'll find that you come up with good information or good ideas. But you're doing it at your own speed and in your own way that makes sense for you. So, that was part one. You may have noticed that I've got some cards separate here. So I was thinking about the Lovers. There's the Lovers. Okay, so maybe one day you pick the Lovers and you look at it, and you, on your sheet of paper, you write Adam and Eve. Or maybe you just write Adam or Eve, but let's put Adam and Eve on a piece of paper. And then we leave it, and so maybe we come back to it 2 days later, and in the meantime we're wondering about Adam and Eve. And maybe we come across a video or something in a newspaper or a magazine about the original Bible story, or about the Bible, or about Adam, or about somebody famous called Adam, or somebody all about Eve I think it was a movie. Pay attention to what, if you're thinking about Adam and Eve, pay attention to what you notice in your daily life, and there may be something that's useful or helpful there. So let's say we go back, we've written Adam and Eve, and we go back to the card a couple of days later, and we start with Adam, and we think, what can we do with Adam? I don't really know what to say about Adam. And this is where Cheiro's numbers can come into play, or can be useful. So I wrote down ADAM as 1414 equals 10. So Adam in some way relates to or is the Wheel of Fortune. So it's number 10 and it's a Wheel of Fortune. So maybe if the Lovers comes up and you happen to remember or notice Adam, there's something going on, but there are opportunities and possibilities for improvement with the Lovers card. So, and 10 is 1 plus nothing. You've got 1 for isolation, but you've also got a 0, which can mean possibilities or potential. So let's say somebody wants to know, am I going to get the promotion? And you get the Lovers. You remind them, when you get the job, remember you're going to have to learn new things. So you'll go into the job thinking you know what you're doing, but there are going to be challenges or possibilities or a potential for improvement of the company or of you that you haven't thought of at the moment. Because Adam, Adam equals 10. Whereas, am I going to get the promotion? The Lovers reversed. So Adam is dealing with the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So it can mean that Adam, the person, the questioner, is going to go into it expecting things to be the same or things to be the way he or she is used to. But there are going to be unexpected changes that he or she isn't really going to be able to handle, especially if they go into it thinking that they already know what they're doing. And I'm reminded of a fellow I used to know who built a very successful magazine, and then he got another magazine, and he tried to apply to the new magazine the same ideas that got him success initially with the first magazine, and it didn't work, because there's something about what gets you to one level is not going to take you to the next level. So you need to change, you need to adapt and learn new things. And maybe that's what's involved with the Lovers reversed. So something about the Lovers reversed is, half of it anyway with Adam involves learning new things. The other thing that I wrote down here in preparation is Eve. EVE 565. 5 and 5 is 10 and 6 is 16. So Eve in some way is the tower. And we know from the story that Eve ate the fruit and Adam and Eve were cast out of the Garden of Eden. So, not that I'm blaming Eve, right? Because we don't blame ever. But it's interesting that Eve adds up to 16. So, why? And then it occurred to me, if we look here, we've got 5, 6, 5. So 5 is the Hierophant, and 5 is the Hierophant. So it's as if Eve in the middle gets 2 lots of advice from the Hierophant and the Hierophant. It looks like 2 lots of advice, but it's the same advice, because the Hierophant's telling her, the Hierophant here is telling her the same as the Hierophant here. And so what can be involved with Adam and with the Lover's card is, if you're listening to other people or taking advice, make sure that it's not just the same thing told by 2 different people. Because if you talk to 2 people who believe the same kind of thing or are going to give you the same information, what's going to happen? Possibly the tower is all going to fall apart, and you're left with a mess to clear up. So depending on what you want, if you're prepared to clean up a mess, okay. But if you don't want a mess, then make sure that you get one type of information, but you don't just hear what you expect from somebody else, because we've got 2 5s and a 6 in the middle. So maybe on day 3, we do something about Eve, right? And then then we go back to the card and we look again and we write down angel. And then we have to do some research on who is this angel and what do angels mean and what are they good for? What happens? Because some people buy angel cards and see angels, and what does that all mean? So you've got a whole different kind of thing to think about if you look at the Lover's card and you're focusing on the angel. And I think if you stick with my piece of paper over here, 1 idea per day per card, and then take it easy and see what ideas come to you, because you set the ball rolling. You think, okay, 1 idea per day. I'm looking at the Lover's card and I'm writing down Adam. So you've set the ball rolling to do with the word Adam. And then you pay attention to what finds you. Because we don't need to go and look for the information. It's going to find us. And if we pay attention to what finds us, we're going to make great progress. But it's when you get scared or get impatient or think you've got to control things and you go out and you try to make something up, that's when, you're forcing things and it doesn't work the same way. You may end up with meanings supposed to be, but they're not going to be as good as what percolates up from your inner being, whatever you want to call it. Okay, that's number 8. So today is Tuesday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. I'll see you again on Friday. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Any comments, let me know. The other thing is, if you made it this far, maybe I should promote the tarot book on Kindle. If you go to Amazon and type in the tarot book, John Ballintray, and you want to buy it, it's $8.97 US. Okay, that's my promotion for the month. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.